Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome in to another episode of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad, Bryan to my right, your left, I'm Eli Moon, and this is a Tuesday edition of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Hope you've had a very eventful, busy Tuesday, and hopefully it's been a great one. It's been crazy already this week. We got a lot to talk about. The Cleveland Browns are back in the news, and we'll talk about them. We'll talk about so much more. Chad and I are going to have a wild second segment, so brace yourself for that. We are going to have a wild second segment. If you want on Heinz before midnight run, just stay locked in here. You don't got to go nowhere. We'll get the party started early. And of course, we have Tuesday Top 5 with the NBA in full swing. Maybe I gave it away a little bit, but we'll see what we got going on. Chad, Bryan, my bro, how are you feeling this Tuesday?
I'm good, man. The second segment to all that stuff. We thought that stuff was wild with the Dolphins. Just wait. We got a Dolphins story I can't believe it's true. I simply can't believe that it's true, Eli. But we'll get to it later. We'll get to that in the second segment. I'm doing pretty good, man. It doesn't feel like a Tuesday. We've done enough this week already. I've done enough this week already. It feels like, I don't know, like a Wednesday 0.6. It feels pretty late in the week to me. So here we are, though, Tuesday night. How are you, man?
I'm great. And I love your handle.
I hadn't noticed. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it definitely will not send you to the right guy.
No, that's not me.
Sure hope people aren't looking it up. But he is a 46-year-old chicken sandwich. If you're wondering, then if you missed the show yesterday, you'd probably should go back and check it out and wonder why he is a chicken sandwich. We'll kind of get a little insight there. With that being said, yes, we're going to dive into it. Chad, it's great to have you here, man. Great to have everybody else here, and we're going to rock and roll. We're going to dive right on into it. Cleveland Browns, they draft 6th overall this Thursday. Big decision. Is it going to be receiver? Is it going to be a lineman? Is it going to be a trade back? Is it going to be something surprising other than everything I just mentioned? What exactly are the Browns going to do? We'll talk about that in a moment. However, Todd Monken was there during the voluntary workouts for the Cleveland Browns talking with the media earlier today, and he had some things to say. It was very interesting just hearing Todd Monken, kind of just refreshing. And before we dive into the video, Chad, we've talked about it here on the network, across various shows about Todd Monken, and AA has highlighted that it's kind of refreshing to have a guy that just says what's on his mind. Now, will that get him in trouble maybe down the line? Possibly. But for now, he's in a position where he can kind of say what he wants to say and set the tone. So he's setting the tone right now, and I think that's at least refreshing. It's refreshing from what we've had in the past.
Well, I appreciate that comment, Eli, and I appreciate that from Anthony Alford, and I know that's on me, and we're going to do better. We're gonna do better at being more refreshing. Thanks, Eli. I appreciate that comment. Thank you.
Always. Do you mind to expand
Practice
on that?
what the old guy used to do. Yeah, just practicing. Yeah. Trying to be more buttoned up. Kevin Stefanski style. Yeah. Appreciate absolutely. That. Yeah, Eli. Appreciate that absolutely, Eli. Yeah. That's on me. We'll do better.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that being said, let's get to the video. Todd Monken spoke to the media today. Before Chad relives any more Cleveland Browns coaches, we're going to dive into Todd Monken speaking at voluntary workouts earlier today. It's courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, it's one of the easiest things to control, right? Without the pads on, is our effort and our energy and our body language. And what we get to do as coaches and players is so unique. It's so cool. I mean, it's 99.9 of this world's dream is to get to do what we do. How we could ever come out here and not be just jacked to get to coach and play in the NFL. I have no idea. I try to tell the players, like, your body language screams what you enjoy doing, right? Why would you not love this? Forget the money, forget all of that. You get to play football for a living. So cool.
And it is pretty cool they get to play football for a living. The one thing that's been hard for Todd Monken, and we also heard from Shedeur Sanders. We'll hear from him in a moment here. But Chad, the big thing that's been tough for Browns fans and the media has been just the disappointment that, it's been really for the most part since 1999. They've had a few shining moments. The 2020 playoff run, 2023 with Joe Flacco was a lot of fun. But other than that, there really hasn't been a ton of fun. A lot of drafts and speculation on drafts. And that seems to be where we're back in the same boat, speculating about another draft that hopefully can change the franchise. So I can understand where the media is coming from to a degree that covers the team. It's like, okay, when is this going to change? But I can also understand where Todd Monken's coming from. He's like, well, guess what? Yeah, I was here for a brief stint with Freddie Kitchens, but this is my first gig as a head coach. I'm the man of this team. I'm the leader of men. I'm going to set the tone, and I'm going to set the tone early. He also talked about Myles Garrett, said it's not a big deal. It's fine. He said there's other guys that are here or that aren't here that we'd love to have here, and they're not here either. Myles Garrett also in the Cavs game, the other night. I know he has part ownership in the team, but he was there. You think a guy that, and I know I've been open about trading, but I'm starting to kind of understand that maybe this is being blown out of proportion a little bit. I think the voluntary workouts is blown out of proportion, but I think the whole situation may be. Now, we could look back in 2-3 months, or ahead 2-3 months, and it happens, he's traded, whatever. But right now, it seems like everybody needs something to talk about. And I guess with the draft coming up on Thursday, why wouldn't we just talk about that? But here we are. We're still addressing Myles Garrett. We're still addressing other guys not at voluntary workouts. And though I do think there are other things to address with Myles Garrett, his tone was set with stories on Instagram, social media posts, but not, chatting too much with Monk. And he mentioned he spoke with Myles, but not too much conversation in the desired, I guess, handshake picture where they're like both in the same picture. I don't know. I think there's just so much to talk about, and we're spending other time talking about guys that aren't here or whatever. Let Monken focus on the guys that are here. Shedeur Sanders, the other guys, Harold Fannin on offense, Quinshon Judkins. Let him focus on the guys that he's trying to build into a reputable offense, and maybe bring something that they had in Baltimore, which was a number one offense at one point. And I get it. They had Lamar Jackson. They had a completely, different scheme, or not scheme, but roster setup. But I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic. The draft's Thursday. We'll see what they do Thursday. Now, if they, in AA talked about a midnight run, if they draft Caleb Lamu at 6 overall or 13 or whatever they do, Chad, I'm going to be a little sad.
Yeah. Well, let's not move right tackles to the left side and try to figure that out. Let's not do
that. No.
And I don't think Jedrick Wills was a bad person. It's pretty obvious that did not work out. And DeJuan Jones was playing really well on the right side, and then moved him to left tackle. And I think, I'm not going to say that's why he got hurt, but you could just see that it wasn't the same, right? There, all of a sudden you have more, false starts, more holding penalties. He looked to be more uncomfortable on the left side. You can't blame the injury on that. That's ridiculous. The injury, those things are going to happen. But I part of me wonders if Todd Monken is just a little bit disappointed that Myles Garrett didn't see the sweet haircut. Because your hair, it grows out and then it's not the same. It's like I missed the coaches meeting to get a sweet haircut to meet Myles Garrett. Well, not to meet him because he knew him, but whatever. To re-meet him as the head coach of the Cleveland, and Myles Garrett doesn't even come see my sweet haircut, man. I wonder, does that cause a rift right away?
Are you surprised there's no sweet haircut shirts already in Cleveland?
Kind of, but maybe that's a thing. Now you gave it away, but yeah, maybe that's the thing we should do.
Okay, yeah. And nobody listened to what I just said for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, nobody do that. Don't go do that. I don't know. A little bit, honestly. It feels like everything the Browns do or say could become marketable or a meme or it's like we said, they're always in the news cycle. It's they're always saying something or doing something, and sometimes you and I will, consciously be like, okay, let's back off on the Browns a little bit tonight. Let's try to go, we'll go a little heavier Guardians, a little more Cavs. And then the Browns come out in the news and go, hey, mister, I got a sweet haircut, whatever, right? And Todd Monken says, and we're like, well, now we have content for like 8 days. Like, we got to do something with that. So
yeah,
they make it tough. Jimmy Haslam is he's a guy that I don't know if he likes to be in front of the camera, but everything he does is I won't say marketable because that screams positivity. Everything he does is it screams something, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's got to be talked about. So I don't know, Eli. I don't know. We talked about it. I mean, you're the money guy. Let the football guys do the football stuff. You do the money stuff. When they come to you with a dispute, Todd Monken comes with Andrew Berry, and hey, I want this toy at number 6. Andrew Berry says, "Stomps, I want this toy," whatever. Then mediate that or whatever, and try to help them make a decision. But I don't think our owners should be making decisions on the draft or even like really floating or pushing ideas about anything. The starting quarterback, nothing. I don't want the owner making any of those suggestions as far as what goes on between the sidelines. I think that's solely for the general manager down to the coaching staff, and we'll see.
We sure will see. The Browns this Thursday draft 6th overall, and it's going to be a decision. Do they build the line up a little bit more? Do they go at a wide receiver 1 in hopes that they can have somebody they can throw the ball to and count on? Do they shock the world and do something like a trade back, or do they?
I don't know that would shock the world, really. I mean, if you're sitting there and Dallas offers 12 and 20 for the number 6 pick, I don't know that really would shock.
I think it would shock a lot of people, pal. Not to interrupt you. I think it would shock a lot of people in Cleveland because I think we had Ryan Lang on from the American Red Cross last week. I've talked to people in my circle that have said a trade back for the most part doesn't excite them because we've seen so many trade backs where the Browns usually end up with the lesser end of the deal. And I just think, you got to be careful with that. I mean, and yes, I have been open and said you can make the draft pick, trade back and go if you can get Jordan Tyson. That's the only way I'm doing it. I'm not trading back to go get a lineman and then hope the 3rd or 4th best receivers on the board. I'm doing it only if Jordan Tyson's on the board. Jalen Tyson's already here.
Location, yeah, it's fine.
But if Jordan Tyson's on the board, that's the only way I would trade back to 12. If Cardell Tate's not there and Tyson's still available, but if Tate's gone, why don't you just take Tyson? I mean, I get the questions about the toughness or whatever, but the guy has been raved about. His coaches have all raved about him. I truly think it's got to be Tater Tyson.
I wish there was a guy named Tater Tyson now. Now that you said that, I wish there was someone named Tater Tyson. But go ahead.
We talk about so much food. Sometimes you would think we cook on this episode.
I'm tired of being hungry, man.
Yeah. Well, guess what? That's probably never going to change. So,
no.
But I wonder. What Shedeur Sanders is thinking. Yeah. How this draft turns out and who they take at 6th or whatever pick they have is going to kind of tell you what the Browns think of the offense and where they need to address.
Yeah. So personally, I don't think there's a big enough difference between who you can get at 6 and 12. Now, look, I know that 6 and 7 years down the line, we're going to look back, and hindsight's always 20/20, and we're going to go, well, look, you could have had so and so at 6, but instead you traded back and took so and so, whatever. Yeah, I mean, we could do that, but I just don't know. Like when you're a team that's in the situation that the Browns are in, it's not like they were 9 and 8 last year and they needed one piece, right? And if they get that one piece in the draft at 6, boom, they're 12 and 5, right? We're not looking at that kind of improvement. I mean, they need help across the board. So for me to have 12, 20, and 24 is very intriguing because you've got I think you have the cap room to pay maybe or 3 first-round picks, or you select 12 and 20 and take 24 and you do something with that maybe for next year's draft. Maybe take 20 and do something with next year's draft and take 12 and 24. But either way, I think the idea right now is to try to stack as many assets as possible because in the next 2 years, with next year being the target because the draft is so very deep at every position.
Right.
And even some of the key ones that, we'll know more, at that time if we need a quarterback or not, right, going forward. Mm-hmm. We should know because Shedeur Sanders should get a strong look, right, at being the starter. I know there's all the Deshaun Watson talk and you've got to get your money back that, $500 billion they're paying him this year or whatever. I get it. It's tempting to want to throw him out there and try to get some kind of return on your investment, but I just don't know that he has anything left in the tank. And I know the Browns aren't in win now mode, but that feels like throwing up the white flag and just saying, hey, we're not playing for this year, right? Maybe I could be totally wrong. He could come out and he could have 3 consecutive 400-yard games and throw for 5 touchdowns a game, and I will eat my words and they'll be delicious or whatever. I still don't really like him as a person, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I could be wrong, and that's okay. But I just feel like Shedeur Sanders is the guy right now on this roster that has a chance at having a future as the starting quarterback. I mean, he's doing franchise quarterback things. He's saying franchise quarterback things. Like his attitude is there. The demeanor is there. The psychology from him. Everything that he does is that of a franchise quarterback, right? And you may say, well, he stunk last year. Man, a lot of guys weren't very good in their. I mean, are we completely forgetting that Peyton Manning was one of the worst quarterbacks we had ever seen his rookie year? He threw a million interceptions. You know, he had a terrible year. You know, Troy Aikman had an awful rookie year. I mean, just awful. Like some of these guys statistically were so bad, and then they went on to win multiple Super Bowls. So it happens, right? I know it's a different league, and we expect guys to come in right away and look ready to go with, you know, but, you know, then you've got the other difference is you got guys coming in from college that run like a heavy RPO offense, and you get a little bit of that in the NFL, but a lot of teams, you know, don't really have the RPO stuff mixed in, so you're still learning a different style. Now Shedeur Sanders is going to be working with his second offensive coordinator in 2 years. It's just
I get what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying, pal. But the one thing I will disagree with you on, respectfully, is that I don't agree with you that there isn't that far of a drop off from 6 to 12 at receiver specifically. Because if the first two receivers, that being Tate and Tyson, are off the board, I don't trust Andrew Berry. And I've said it multiple times here across the network, and I'll just repeat it again. I don't trust Andrew Berry taking the chance on a wide receiver. He's had one good opportunity at receiver that has worked out, Amari Cooper. And it happened to work out because Amari Cooper felt slighted, and he came in here and played well. But it wasn't a super long stint. So I don't trust Andrew Berry taking a flyer or trying to make a chance with a late first rounder. Get one of the guys that have been talked about as one of the top receivers. So I think now linemen, there's a deep lineman class, so that's I'm okay if they do trade back, taking 20 and 24 goal linemen. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and plus you've addressed a little bit of that in the offseason with some different things. So I think that you've at least got a foundation there. You haven't addressed the wide receiver. We've got Jerry Jeudy. I mean, okay. I mean, 26 drops the last 2 seasons?
It's bad, buddy. He's got about as many drops as I have years on earth.
He's only got about 70 targets.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing. But you did mention one big thing that stood out, and I know we got to go to break here in just a moment. But Shedeur Sanders, doing the franchise things. He spoke to the media earlier today at voluntary workouts, and I think it was some telling things the way he spoke to the media, Chad. I want to play this clip here, and this is very interesting here for those that are Shedeur fans, those that are rooting for him, and just people that are rooting for the Cleveland Browns to be successful. So take a look here. This Shedeur Sanders at voluntary workouts earlier today.
Coach Munkin, great. Coach Munkin, great, and all the other coaches on the staff is extremely great. You're going to understand and embrace you just as a person, then they push you each and every day, in the meeting room and on the field, in the weight room. Like, it's a new vibe, it's a new energy. The only thing we missing is y'all. We need y'all to have a new vibe, new energy. I know y'all want us to win, so we need some winning energy here. You know what I'm saying? We can't have too much negativity going on. And, you want our players to be the best version of ourselves for y'all, So I think it's a community thing. I think we all, like as a group, have to, because everybody's gonna have kids. Everybody has that. You don't want your kids to be the side effects of, you know what I'm saying, what you done did in life, the negativity and all this different type of stuff. You don't want that. So let's approach even this, like with a better attitude, like even coming from y'all also.
That was Shedeur Sanders. Earlier today at voluntary workouts, a lot of media there in the media scrum for the Cleveland Browns. So just conversation and something he's preaching about the communication and the community between the media, between the Cleveland Browns fans, between the Cleveland Browns players, coaches. And this is from, I believe the tweet's from Deion Sanders Jr. You probably grabbed it from somebody in the media, but that's where we saw it from. So, but just being big on community, being big on building something that's positive. And I really resonate with that, Chad. Obviously I'm part of the collective La Haley. I do the booking and press there and put the shows together. And I'm big on community, not only with the collective, but just other people as well, giving opportunities and creating something that's different, a positive change in an industry and with music that a lot of times it's pay to play. A lot of times it's, bad business, people really snaking people. Yeah. It gets real bad. So I'm trying to create that change. We're creating that change. And I really like that Shedeur Sanders is trying to do the same with the Cleveland Browns. Trying to create change where, you have to buy in media. You have to buy in, if you don't, I guess, whatever. But why would you not enjoy buying into something that could change? And I get it. Since 1999, it really hasn't changed. But Shedeur Sanders wasn't here in 1999. He wasn't on the Cleveland Browns. So give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. He did win 2 games against division rivals to end the year. So there is some sort of momentum. And if we get a wide receiver 1, that's why it's so imperative they get a wide receiver 1 in this draft. If they get that, I truly think we're going to see a big leap from Shedeur Sanders. Remember, he was without Quinshon Judkins late in the year. He was missing Harold Fann in the last game of the year. So get those guys back. I mean, we'll see what they can do. But I feel good about Shedeur Sanders. He is, like you said, Chad, he is saying everything you not have to say, but can say and should say if you're trying to lead, a group, a locker room, and really a city. Because Cleveland, it's torn on Shedeur Sanders right now.
Yeah.
People love him or people really don't like him. And I don't know what the deal is with people not liking him besides his dad was a Hall of Fame coach and they speak their mind. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I guess everybody should just be mute. Nobody should say anything. So
you want your franchise quarterback to come in with some confidence, right? And as far as the people will point out the watch celebration or whatever, and I would caution you. I mean, if we're gonna base our opinion on people based on the way that they behaved in college, I don't think you'd like anybody. I mean, I didn't make the best decisions from 18 to 22. I mean, I probably was a little more outspoken and whatever. I mean, whatever. You like to have some fun. You're a kid. Then you get a little bit older. You get a serious job, right? You get hired by the Cleveland Browns, right? And you settle into your little office job as the starting quarterback over in, whatever. You're in I don't know, pod number 3 or whatever, sitting in your little cubicle. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's settled in very nicely. I mean, like you said, he's coming in, he's saying all the right things, doing all the right things. He sounds like a franchise quarterback. I know, like physically on the field, it was a little rough last year, but I mean, I don't think it seems like there was like a little bit of chaos just around his rookie season. And I think like he's just kind of coming in and trying to bring the calm and bring some of that positivity. And we've seen the videos all over Twitter, all over social media of him getting reps, day one, right? I almost said involuntary. That's not how that works. At voluntary minicamp stuff. So you see him out there doing, whatever. He's on the field. He whatever. He looks refreshed, sounds refreshed. Let's just start over. Let's forget the last 26 seasons or whatever. Forget that. Because really, honestly, none of that matters. None of that matters right now. Yeah, we may not be expecting 12 or 13 wins this year, but I mean, let's let Todd Monken come in and whoever the starting quarterback is going to be, let's just let him build something and start from the ground up. And let's not worry about, the foundation or the basement or whatever's below us. Let's just, throw a slab down and start all over, right? And not worry about the last 26 years, because what does Tim Couch or what does Brandon Whedon have to do with this team, right? Nothing.
Right.
We have to lump it all together. It's fun. You put all the stuff together and it sounds like a crazy Hollywood movie. I mean, how could they really have been this bad for this long? But in all honesty, I mean, nothing matters but today and tomorrow, really. You start today and you move on to tomorrow and you take it one day at a time. So it's very cliche, but not cliche, who we had on the show last week, but cliche. I don't mean to do the Kevin Stefanski talk thing again, but it's serious. I mean, seriously, you start with today and you move on, right? You can't really worry about last week or last year or 10 years, whatever. None of that stuff matters. So just move forward and let's have a different attitude. Let's fake it until we make it. Let's act like winners until we're 12-5 and we're going to the playoffs, man, and winning divisions. Let's do it. Why not?
I love it. And best case scenario, Shedeur Sanders plays well, becomes a franchise quarterback, and he's saying all the right things right now. We hope the play translates, and I believe in him. I know you do too, Chad, so let's keep an eye on it. And we'll keep an eye on also the draft Thursday. Chad and I will be back with you tomorrow, 10 o'clock to 11 p.m. We're not leaving. We still got a few more segments left with you tonight, but we'll do our best case and worst case scenarios on draft day for the Cleveland Browns. What would be our best case scenario for that 6th overall pick or the first round in total? And what would be the worst case scenario? What would have us coming on here next Monday when we reconvene and talk to each other again on air, having us freaking out? So we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. But it's Cleveland Browns that keep us on our toes. So there's that. With that being said, Chad and I are going to take a quick pause. You do the same. Grab caffeine, dinner, whatever you're doing. Get ready, get situated, because we got about 5 minutes. You're going to see some great shows throughout the network, so you can find what's going on all week. You can give us a follow here at Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Like and subscribe on all the platforms, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're enjoying all the great content, we appreciate you for choosing us as Cleveland's digital leader and your source of sports, mental health, entertainment, everything in between. We truly, truly appreciate you. And make sure if you're really enjoying the content, you go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com where you can see all the shows, read about the personalities involved with the network, and go to our partners page where you see the QR code up top with Chad. Yep, thank you, Chad.
Missed.
You're good. You did a great job. It'll send you there. You saw Fanatics at the beginning of the show. A lot of great stuff. Get your Myles Garrett jersey. Get your Jose Ramirez jersey. Get your Donovan Mitchell or James Harden jersey. Get one of these great jerseys. Get ready for Cleveland sports. You're here in Cleveland's digital leader, but across the world as well. Get your favorite team sports with jersey, hat, whatever with Fanatics.com, a proud partner of the Inside Edge Network.
Yeah.
And you'll hear from some other sponsors as well. But that's the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Chad and I are going to take a quick pause. When we come back here on Inside Edge Primetime, we're going to go wild. You want to get wild, Chad?
Let's get wild.
Let's get wild. We're going to talk about Florida.
Yeah, we're getting aquatic.
Yeah. We're going to talk about a dolphin and a Florida man. Got to get a little wild.
That's all you had to say, Florida man.
And then after that, we're going to talk about ketchup.
Yeah. Which is, coincidentally, probably not very good on dolphins, I would think.
We're going to figure out a lot during the break, and hopefully we know what we're going to do when we get back here. We're going to have a conversation about Florida and ketchup and a whole lot more. This is Inside Edge Primetime here in the Inside Edge Network. That's Chad, Bryan. I'm Eli Moon. We're back after this.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Let's get wild. That's Chad Bryan to my right, your left, and I'm Eli Moon. And we are back. It's Tuesday. That means Tuesday Top 5 coming up after this segment, so stay tuned. Got a very exciting list for you as always here on this Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about before then. It's going to get a little wacky. Forgive us ahead of time. We're going to get a little wacky on this Tuesday. I know Wednesday's usually Wacky Wednesday. We're going to get a little wacky. Chad sends these stories to me. I sent Chad the one story earlier, and he sent it back to me, so I knew we were on the same page. And
I was trying to catch up with you, is really what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Well, I'm more of a mustard guy. We'll get to it in a second. And then
Never
he sent me this. Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Onion. Never onion.
No.
Never.
I mean,
All right.
Okay, well, never mind. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
That's another day. That's another day.
Another day, another dollar, another night. All right, listen. You sent me this video. We're going to start with this one first, okay? We'll talk about ketchup in a second.
Yeah.
Florida. A Florida man and dolphins. Can you kind of give me the breakdown? Because you sent me this story, and I read it. I kind of I just didn't believe it, bro. Can you, for the audience at home, can you kind of, so we're not like just talking about an inside joke. Can you tell them what we're talking about?
Well, as I understand this story, Jeff Hafley and the Miami Dolphins are building something, right? They're really they need help from the community, right? It's not just that you don't just go in as a head coach and you don't do it yourself, right? You need help. You gotta have the fans. You gotta have the front office. You gotta have the players on the same team. And by the way, I'm stalling because now the video's in. I realized as we teased that we were going to talk about this going to the break, I hadn't put the video in yet. So I was trying to take as long as possible to make sure this video wasn't buffering when we wanted to play it. But now it's ready, Eli. So
roll the video, Chad. Roll it.
We say no more. Let's put up the BRB screen, and we just look at what Jeff Hafley is trying to build with the Dolphins.
Florida man claims to have been kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The man was found early Monday morning on the side of a beach in Lee County, soaking wet, dehydrated, and confused. When deputies arrived, he was drawing detailed diagrams in the sand. According to the man, a pod of dolphins took him while he was swimming and brought him to a place about 40 feet under the surface. He said they forced him to help build underwater structures. He told deputies the dolphins communicated with him using clicks. He said the group had a leader named Gerald who somehow helped him breathe underwater, possibly by creating an airspace. The man spent 3 days working on what he described as cities, towns, and condo-like structures. When the dolphins were satisfied with his work, they sent him back to the surface and told him they would return for phase 2. Medical staff treated him for dehydration, but found no signs of head injury or mental confusion. Tests showed seawater and marine particles in his lungs, suggesting he had been deep underwater for a long time without typical lung damage. This was unusual and raised questions for doctors. The man holds a master's degree in aerospace engineering and has experience with deep-sea technology, which he says is why the Dolphins chose him. Some people think the story is false, but the physical evidence has made others curious. Let me know what you think.
Well, so I didn't specifically hear Jeff Hafley mentioned in that video. Maybe that wasn't about the Miami Dolphins per se, but I don't know. I mean, they did say he was drawing diagrams in the Sandy Eli, so I assume that's him drawing up some plays, right? Like if Tua had done this last year, right?
And if he was chosen, like he was the first Dolphin guy chosen, or guy chosen by the Dolphins, sounds like this week. There'll be a few others chosen on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, but he was the first Dolphin chosen, or guy chosen by the Dolphins. The first Dolphin chosen. He was the first guy chosen by the Dolphins, and I mean, it makes sense. Like, he has that, obviously, that background. Maybe that's why they want him to build like a kingdom. Is that what I'm gathering? A kingdom, like a sanctuary?
They're build a franchise. I mean, they're right there adjacent to the New England Patriots. They've had a close view within the division of what an actual what that looks like, what a dynasty looks like, right? So there's nothing stopping them. I mean, hey, they had Dan Marino and Don Shula roaming the sidelines once down there. They can be great again. I know they didn't win a Super Bowl with those guys, but I mean, listen, they're the only team to have ever finished the season undefeated in the NFL. They're just trying to get back to the glory days. And if they have to go a little bit weird to get there, I think it's commendable. You do what you do, right? By the way, I'm trying to figure out where this video came from, Eli. I really am. And
you're good, pal. You're good. You're good. It was reported. I know the Florida news cycle got a hold of it. So it's just been all over, but just an interesting time. We're seeing it here. We got it from the Lucy Show 1 on Twitter. They were the ones that resurfaced it. And just a crazy time to be a Dolphins fan, I suppose, or be a fan of Dolphins or just anything like that. Is this the craziest Florida story from Florida, anything you've seen so far this year?
Believe it or not, no. And I think no, it's not. And I think now we have maybe a future Tuesday top 5. Craziest Florida stories. I don't understand what happens in Florida. I don't know if it's a Bermuda Triangle adjacent thing. I don't know what even really goes on. I've been to Florida. It seemed normal on the surface. I don't know. I mean,
were the Dolphins talking to you when you were in Florida?
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, they tried to get me to build an underground city. Here's the thing: I'm not susceptible to kill. I'm a big guy. I'm tough to grab. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to snag me and take me and create airspace.
Oh, I disagree, pal.
Right.
If a swarm of dolphins came up, they would definitely get a hold of you.
No, they'd have me. I'd be like, oh, these dolphins are awesome. I'd go with them. What am I even talking about? Of course, I'd go with them.
Yeah, dude, you'd be done. Yeah, you'd be done. I just want you to know, bro. You might as well get ready. Get fitted for your helmet because you're going to play for the Dolphins.
I don't swim that well. They're going to have to do something. Maybe creating the airspace is the key, so I can feel comfortable. I can just stand on the bottom of the ocean, and draw some plays in the sand or whatever. But yeah, here you go out, you run a post, and they're doing whatever they do. That was pretty good.
Really good.
That wasn't bad.
That was really impressive.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I'm impressed. I tried that live, but yeah, I don't know.
Me too.
I didn't know what was going to happen. No, I don't know. I think I might go with him, but yeah, I don't know. No, not the craziest Florida story I've seen, sadly. Man, look, guy sounds like he believes that this happened to him. Whatever.
Does this fall under the aliens category?
Sure. Sure. I mean, it's a shoulder turn for me. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Aliens, who knows? I don't know who the Dolphins have connections to. I have no idea. Is it a mermaid thing? What happened to this guy? I mean, what happened to this poor fella? I don't know. We'll never know.
Yeah, dude.
Never know.
I just picture like Ariel from The Little Mermaid and like Sebastian. My goodness.
The man came out holding a collection of forks. Oh, okay.
Yep. No, for real. All right, well, that's probably the crazy story of the two, but we do have a pretty cool story here associated with the NFL draft this Thursday. Yeah. Devin Hester, actually, he is Heinz and Devin Hester. They're teaming up. They're going to welcome the first Mr. 57 at the NFL draft this Thursday, Chad. And what that entails is a custom jacket, ketchup for life from Heinz, and a partnership with Heinz.
Man.
So it begs the question.
57 isn't a mayonnaise on the fries guy. Like, that could be a compliment.
Hopefully you like ketchup. Patrick Mahomes is shaking his fist right now because he loves ketchup.
Well, here the Bears, we're going to take so-and-so, but they didn't interview well. He said mayonnaise on it wasn't going to work. So, yeah.
We were going to take you with pick 57. We just knew you weren't a fan of ketchup, so we had to go with the guy.
Yeah, not compatible.
The love of ketchup was a deciding factor. I mean, is this the coolest thing that the NFL's got going on in terms of for a draft? You have Mr. Irrelevant, and they get like a visit to like an island or something. You have Mr. Irrelevant. He gets paid a lot of money. That's number one overall. I mean, is Mr. 57 the coolest thing for draft night? Like, I mean, you got to be mad if you're a pick like 56. You're like, dude, I'd rather be 57. I can catch up for life, a sponsorship. I'm gonna get a custom jacket. And the odds are, if you pick 57, you're usually going to at least a slightly better team unless somebody trades around. I mean, so Mr. 57's got to be the biggest draw for Thursday, yeah? Or more so, I'm sorry, Friday, because it'll be Friday.
Yeah, I think it's fun, first of all. I mean, the red jacket's cool, right? Now you just have to go win the Masters, and you got your alternating Christmas gear. But, yeah, I think it's right every other year. No, I think it's fun, though. It's just a fun thing, man. It's like it's something different, right? It's a reason to watch past the first round. A lot of people say, I watched the first 32 picks, and then, I don't know, day two is whatever. Unless you have a team with, like, 3 or 4, second and third round picks or whatever, maybe it can get a little tedious to, keep watching guys get picked that, after a certain point, maybe you've never heard of, or you just don't know that much about. So I think it's fun. It gives you something to look forward to in the second round. Like, who's going to be picked number 57? Who's the catch-up guy, right? And now people, I think, are looking down their draft boards. Like, let's look at the 2-round mock to see who everybody has the Bears taking at 57. I think it's fun, man. It's silly. It's nonsense. It's not important or whatever in a sense of, football necessarily, but
yeah,
it's fun. It's a reason to look forward to the draft. That part of the draft, I think it's fun.
And you could parlay it with a Chicago dog or something. I know they do different Chicago dog, but put some ketchup on a Chicago dog, and you could parlay with one of the stands out there, and you could really make some money, Mr. 57. Just giving you some game. Whoever it is. Look, I know you're getting out of college, so I just want to give you some game as a 28-year-old man. I want to give you some game.
All right. As a 46-year-old chicken sandwich, I'm telling you, use the ketchup to your advantage.
Do you put ketchup on a chicken sandwich?
No, never. No, not.
Okay, all right. Just making sure we're on the same page. Mustard for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a quick pause here, bud. When we come back, everybody's on the edge of their seat. Tuesday Top 5. We got another edition coming up for you. Give a little spoiler at the beginning, so if you were tuned in early, you kind of know a little bit. If you're just tuning in, well, I will not spoil it again. That's Chad Bryan to my right, your left. I'm Eli Moon. Reminder, right after us at midnight Run with Anthony Alford here on the Inside Edge Network. So if you're loving your first time here tuning in and you're loving the content, give us a follow to Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Like and subscribe, all that great stuff. And go check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. But yes, us, Primetime. That's Inside Edge Primetime. Chad, Bryan, Eli Moon. We're back with you for Tuesday Top 5. Put a bow on this thing and hand off the baton to Double A Anthony Alford for Midnight Run. Jam-packed Tuesday. We're back after this.
Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad, Bryan to my right, your left, and I'm Eli Moon. We are back for a final segment here on this Tuesday edition of Inside Edge Primetime. Midnight run to follow, midnight to 1 a.m. W. Anthony Alford with you with some unhinged sports talk. Got a lot to talk about. He's going to cover the Browns and some other things as well. And then, of course, I'll be producing that so you'll see me from time to time. But we have some business to take care of here first. Inside Edge Primetime, as you see, we've got a top 5 chicken sandwich. Chad, Bryan with us. And
Thanks.
Yeah, buddy, of course.
Good to make the list, man.
Hey, you know what? Pretty soon you'll be a curling chicken sandwich once we get your curling going.
There you
So
go.
we're not talking at the gym, folks. We're talking Olympic curler, Chad Bryan, or as we like to call him, CB the chicken sandwich.
Just got to get the hamstrings loose, man. Got to get used to,
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough motion for me. Because Eli, I'm 46 years old.
Well, tonight you're a top 5 chicken sandwich, and I think that with that, there's no better way to segue into our edition of Tuesday Top 5 here on April 21st. This is your edition of Tuesday Top 5. Chad Bryan, over to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's time for the Tuesday Top 5. And, sometimes we go silly. Sometimes we go really, really silly. Sometimes we go a little more serious. This one's legit, right? We're nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Not like days of the week. I mean, we would never actually do that. That would be crazy.
That one was serious. Don't discredit that.
Well, it got serious. Yeah, afterwards, after the show, we had a whole debate. I mean, we've been debating it actually for it's funny how that Tuesday Top 5 has actually lasted longer in conversation than I ever thought it would. And I'm really starting to consider the fact that maybe Tuesday could be the worst day of the week. I'm really starting to consider it.
I mean,
possible.
It's not the best. It's definitely not the best.
Yeah, it's not Friday.
It's not top 3.
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Tuesday.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Tuesday before we get into anything.
Fair enough.
Here's the thing about Tuesday.
Pull this down.
Tuesday, there is nothing usually going on. Now, there's great things. There's great open mics. There's a lot of great stuff going on in the music. Always something going on in the music world. But as far as Tuesday, you don't have Monday Night Football. You don't have Tuesday Night Football.
It would be weird if you had Monday Night Football on Tuesday. It would be weird and confusing.
You don't have Tuesday Night Football. You don't have any usually. I mean, during the playoffs, you get blessed with some games on tonight. But you don't got a lot of stuff going on Tuesday. It basically feels like Monday ran over again, except for it's not Monday. You don't have the thing of start of the week. It's really still the start of the week, but it's not. No,
You're right. Tuesday is Monday's rerun. You're right. That's man.
And Monday, and you gave Monday such a bad rep last week. We went tooth and nail fighting over this before we went on air, and I'll always rock with my bro. So if you think Monday's that bad, but Tuesday could and probably is.
Monday that maybe I didn't mean. Well, maybe I meant them, but maybe they're not true. You know what I mean? Maybe they were just opinions, not fact.
All I'll say is Tuesday could and probably is the worst day of the week. Back to you.
Okay, back to me. Well, it's time for another Tuesday worst day of the week top 5. That's the new name of the segment. And tonight we thought we'd talk, since we're very NBA centric right now, we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the playoffs, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We got some Tuesday night playoff games. Let's talk about our top 5 NBA MVP candidates. Why not? Why not? Right? So I don't know. I mean, there's some different schools of thought here, and I think we could put really these 5 guys, Eli. They could go in almost any order. It probably depends a little bit on maybe who you're a fan of or who you watch or whatever. But at number 5, listen. And let me tell you about what my laptop did when I searched long and far and wide for the C's with the proper and when I used them, it slowed my whole laptop down. I really don't understand exactly what happened. but it just something happened when I put these C's in, and I thought, man, what a big mess overseas. Not overseas where Luka came from. That's not what I mean. But I mean, just what a mess over some letter C's. I thought that was anyway. It doesn't matter. Luka Doncic,
you did a great job. I want you to know you did a great job.
I was just looking for some. Yeah, I was looking for some positive reinforcement. Anyway, Luka is the spreadsheet that learns step backs, right? Like he's just out here putting up numbers like he's a calculator. I mean, he could legitimately be a top 3 candidate, but he's number 5 on our list, right? I don't know. He's at 33.5 points per game. About he flirts with the triple double almost every night, right? Just kind of give Luka the ball and good luck, everybody else. Why only 5th though? Because we looked at his resume and we said, incredible, but have you tried winning even more games or maybe existing in 3 places at once, like somebody else maybe on this list, like a Jokic? It doesn't matter because he may be good, he may not be. But if this were a most valuable spreadsheet award, Luka I think wins unanimously with all the numbers he's putting up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Luka's really fun. Obviously, the Lakers love having him. Dallas loved having him before they made that crazy trade. And, I mean, the real big thing is his injury. They just had to reverse, him getting ineligible to become eligible to be even on this MVP list. We wouldn't even be talking about him if the NBA didn't overrule that. So I think, we're looking at that. The injuries, or the big injury that took him out for the last part of the year, I think that all kind of plays into him being number 5. If he finished the year, I mean, he's a big part of why the Lakers are currently in the spot they're in. And he kind of dipped off just a tad when he dropped off. And obviously, Austin Reeves as well injured. But I think that's the big thing for Luka is just the injury is going to keep him away from winning MVP. And it's a shame that we're this far in and he still hasn't won MVP. I mean, you got to think he's getting closer to, I know he's not 30 yet, but he's getting closer to 30. I believe he's not 30 yet. So, I mean, you look at Luka, he's a guy that still a face of the league, but MVP keeps escapes. He had 27. I don't think he's 30. I'm like, come on, man. So 27, but you're 3 years away from 30. You wonder when he's going to get this MVP. It won't be this year, though.
Yeah, it won't be this year. And you said that what's the threshold? 65 games, right?
Yes.
Do you any word on whether or not the NBA would overrule that for Max Strus? He actually missed exactly 65 games. I think that's kind of fun.
No, you got to play 65 games.
Oh, is that what you can't? Oh, okay, I thought you had to miss 65 games. Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, but number 4. Come on, buddy.
The number 4. It's so stupid. All right, so number 4 is, let's just get right to it. It's SGA, right? The best team in the NBA. The best player on the best team in the NBA. He's basically basketball's version of a ninja accountant, right? He's quiet, efficient, and somehow just devastating. Is he the best? I don't know. I mean, is he the best clutch scorer in the league? Could be. But again, best team record, right? That helps. Clutch player of the year. I don't know. Why not higher though? Because I don't know. Why not, Eli? The MVP race maybe is less race and more like Avengers level boss fight this year. Like I don't know how do you even vote for this year? It's tough.
It is very tough, but SGA on the best team, he won it last year. The NBA, first off, isn't a fan. So when we put this list together, I also, just using logic and also obviously using, what we feel, but using the NBA's logic, I should say.
I don't use logic at all.
I know. I should have specified the NBA's logic, and they don't like to see a lot of repeat MVPs. I mean, you see that's why LeBron hasn't won a ton of MVPs, more than he should have.
Yeah.
And so that's
the best player in the league for years.
Yeah. So I think you're going to see that with SGA, voter fatigue. And I think also, you factor in he's the number 1 seed, but that team in OKC is so loaded. I think, yes, he plays a big role. He also gets a lot of love from the referees. That could be another discussion another day, but, he gets a lot of foul calls. But that team's very good. Jalen Williams, playing right next to him, Chet Holmgren. I mean, they got a very good lineup. Lou Dort, very strong defender. So they got a lot of options there. SGA is the leader, but, I mean, they're really a squad that moves together. They're a very young squad, and they all kind of grew up together and have been growing up, won a championship, and they're trying to do so again this year. But SGA, top 4. I think that's where I would put him.
Yeah, elementary school friends to NBA champions. That's a fun story, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they grew up that much together, but yeah, okay, that's fine. So let's move on to
Chad. You were on. You might need to be on Midnight Run tonight, pal. Just to let you know, because you've been unhinged the last few days. Have you been hanging out with Double A more than I know?
Yeah, well, we text a lot during the day trying to figure out everything. We're doing stuff behind the scenes. Apparently the unhingedness is it's contagious. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Really sure. I made up a word. That was fun. Yeah, you can do whatever you want after 10 o'clock. It's fine. I'll move on to number 3 before he comes in and kicks us off the air. And number 3 is point guard, CEO of Detroit. It's Cade Cunningham. He turned his back to us. I guess he didn't.
Yeah, wow.
Whatever.
Rude.
Okay, rude. Well, anyway, he took the Pistons from rebuild mode to top seed in the East, which is like the NBA equivalent of turning water into Gatorade, I think. Really good scorer, 60-win team. Detroit's great. He's orchestrating the offense like he's a conductor out there, right? And he occasionally dunks on the orchestra every once in a while. That's fine. But why third on our list? Well, I think, and you did a lot of this list, but I think the reason he's third is because while he did elevate a team, man, Eli, I've been looking at the numbers, and the two guys above him are just basically bending reality. It's like this is like arguing who's the one in the Matrix. I don't know, but Cade Cunningham is 3 on our list.
Yeah, and the same thing here. He had to collapse lung, miss a good portion of the season, around the All-Star break, right after, I believe. And so that was a big thing. And the Pistons, they play team ball. I mean, yes, Cunningham is the leader. Somebody's got to be the face. But I don't think it's been like Cade Cunningham is knocking down game-winning shots, like really having those moments that, okay, the Pistons are being led by Cade Cunningham. Yes, he's the leader. I'm not saying that. But as far as like far away from the pack, if you took Cade Cunningham off the team, they still didn't drop off the 1 seed. I know they had a good lead, but they didn't lose the 1 seed. And yes, he got back near the end of the year and they, remained. But they didn't really drop off too much without him. And that's a testament to J.B. Bickerstaff. We gave him a little heck yesterday, but testament to him and that team.
Heck of a regular season coach.
And he kept it together during the regular season. But, yeah, that's why I have him at 3, because to your point, we'll talk about these two guys here coming up. These guys have been playing out of their minds. I mean, like, almost like insane. And it was tough to decide who really gets number 1 spot, but I think we did a good job of narrowing it down.
Yeah, I think we did great. I think we always do well. Maybe except for Monday and Tuesday. That's
yeah.
That's
fine. I mean, I think nobody's ever argued with us, not even our program director, about any of our lists.
Well, I don't know. He got into me pretty good about Monday and Tuesday last week.
He sure did.
I thought for a moment I thought I was going to get suspended for a second.
Well, I'm glad you're here with us.
Me too. I'm just blessed to be here, really, on this Tuesday, which is now we found out the worst day of the week. Whatever. Let's go to number.
But you know what? But we do have this to look forward to every Tuesday. So even if it's the worst day of the week, you have Primetime, Midnight Run. You have the Tuesday Top 5. You have a lot of great stuff. Pick Your Poison Tuesday is back with Midnight Run after us. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Here in the InsideEdge
I think
Network.
the Tuesday Top 5 almost single-handedly makes Tuesday worth looking forward to. Makes it better than Monday, but that's okay. That's my opinion.
It's all right. Yeah.
Nobody respects that. That's okay.
I respect you.
I appreciate it. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is the triple-double sorcerer himself, Nikola Jokic. Sometimes I make the joke. He looks to me like he would be just as happy out there playing in socks and sandals. Wouldn't really even need shoes. He doesn't care, right? He doesn't. Sometimes he looks like he doesn't even want to be there, Eli. But he's almost unintentionally the best player in the league. He's doing things right now that make statisticians question their career choices. There's so much adding and whatever. Averaging a triple-double is wild, right? Leads the league in rebounds and assists, which it feels illegal, but apparently he's not. So why is he not number 1? That doesn't make any sense, you might say. Well, because I think voters have seen this level of absurdity from him before and just like, oh, look, Jokic is like he casually solved basketball puzzles again, right? Like, no big deal. He's just out here. He'd rather hang out with his horses, but he's averaging a triple-double. It's fine.
Yeah, he loves his horse racing, but this is one that you touched on it there. One of his best seasons he had, averaging a triple-double, leading the league in assists and rebounds per game, which I think is the first time in NBA history. So, I mean, this is incredible. One of his best, if not his best season as a pro. But, again, the voter fatigue, they want to probably put a fresh face. They want to crown the new face of the league, which is why that would be the only reason Nikola Jokic and Denver being in that, the 3 spot, that's why I think this guy gets the nod over him. They're our number 1 option, Chad. Why don't you go ahead and let the people know?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have the slide in. No, I'm kidding. I have it.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
And that's all, folks.
And that's it for the Tuesday Top 5. The Tuesday Top 4.5. No, that's okay. So number 1 on our list. He's kind of this. I mean, come on. He's a glitch in the simulation. He's not even the one. He's just a complete glitch, right? We know who it is. It's Victor Wembanyama. Wemby's not just playing basketball. He's redefining it right now. 25 points, 11.5 rebounds. He's averaging 3 blocks a game, Eli.
Yeah.
That is sickening if you're a post player. He simultaneously, he does all of these things. He's a defensive anchor. He's an offensive centerpiece. And somehow, I think he's still growing into his powers. Like, he's still figuring out what he can do. And he could become the youngest MVP ever. Is that wild?
It's wild. You mentioned he's out of this world. He's an alien. That's what they call him, an alien. And he's the youngest defensive player of the year already, Chad. He won it at 22 years old. He's the first ever unanimous defensive player of the year in NBA history.
Right.
And I think this is an opportunity for the NBA, and the voters are going to view that too, as being able to crown a guy that is the next face of the league at 22 years old. Wembanyama's having a great year. He's leading the Spurs, led the Spurs at his second seed in the Western Conference. He lost tonight against Portland, and he went down early in the game in the first half. And he's in concussion protocol. And, he missed the rest of that game with a hard fall. We hope he's okay here on the Inside Edge Network, on Primetime, and the whole network sends our, best wishes to Victor Wembanyama for a quick, recovery. And the Spurs, they ended up dropping the ball in the fourth quarter. I don't think they dropped the ball in the fourth quarter if Wembanyama's there to lead them and push. So I think his impact just speaks volumes. And so does Jokic, so does Cunningham, so does SGA, and so does Doncic. But at the end of the day, I think Victor Wembanyama has completely changed the culture for the Spurs. They had a little bit of a quiet period, a weird period after Duncan and Ginobili and Parker were all gone, and then the Kawhi debacle. I mean, they've really been trying to find that next cornerstone piece. And look no further. You have Dylan Harper, you have Stephon Castle, but the man in San Antonio, and I'll tell you, because I've been to San Antonio, they love Victor Wembanyama, and I think he's going to be the MVP. He's already Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to take both home. And maybe, and we hope not in Cleveland, obviously, if we meet up with them, but maybe an NBA Finals and NBA Finals MVP. It could be one of the most historic seasons in NBA history.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this feels like an episode of like a DC comic where all the superheroes get together. This isn't an MVP race, man. It's like a crossover episode of. You've got, like I said, Luka just literally dropping numbers like he's a calculator, right? SGA closing games out like a movie villain. Cade, he's rebuilding Detroit single-handed, the whole city, not just the Pistons. He's rebuilding he's building houses too, probably. Jokic is rewriting math. Wembanyama is rewriting physics. Rumor has it that no one. You said he's the face of the league. Rumor has it he's so tall no one's ever even seen Wembanyama's face. He's just so far up there.
There it is, right there, bud.
Oh, there he is. There is his face. But somehow, Eli, there's only one trophy. So man, it feels. I don't know. Can we get a shared MVP? Like a 5-way,
No, pick a winner. Pick a winner.
Skyline Chili 5-way
No.
MVP award. No, okay, we can't do that.
No.
Fine. It's Victor Wembanyama. Whatever. Fun, man. Well, that's our Tuesday top 5 for the week. Like I said, it's a shame that there's only one trophy. Maybe there should be a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference MVP, but there's one NBA MVP. In our mind, it's Victor Wembanyama. I don't know. I think that does it for the Tuesday top 5. I think that's a pretty strong list, man. I think that was pretty good.
I like the list.
It wasn't days of the week. It didn't have the variety and you just didn't know what was coming with the days of the week. But that's okay. It was a great list.
Yeah, it sure was, pal. We did a great job. Another successful Tuesday top 5. I think the people loved it, and I think they're going to continue to love what we got here. And with that, yes, sir, brother. And we will segue right into final thoughts, put a bow on this edition of Inside Edge Primetime here on this Tuesday edition. Chad, would you like to go first today with final thoughts, or would you like me to go first?
I will go first. Listen, if you're here watching and you're still listening after all the dolphin and the catch-up and the weird top 5 stuff, you are our number one pick for MVP. Forget Wembanyama. Forget the aliens. Forget well, maybe not the aliens because they might have been involved with the Dolphins, but maybe don't forget the aliens. Remember them a little bit. But you are our MVP. We've said it before. We couldn't do it without you guys. So we appreciate you tuning in. I know it gets a little silly sometimes. It's late night, man. We're tired, right? We get slap happy and stuff happens. But from a 46-year-old chicken sandwich to all of you, I truly do appreciate every single one of you that's in here rocking with us. So thank you guys for watching us and for just continuing to stay with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'll segue, or continue, add on to that. We truly appreciate it. We stress that this is we're still in the first 6-7 months of the network being around. We appreciate the support. If you really support, you can go ahead and go to the network, and grab some merch or something like that and rock it and be here with us family. But that doesn't mean you don't support if you don't grab it. But if you want to look cool and have the Inside Edge Network here, you'll go ahead and grab the merch. Go check out the partners. Go take advantage of being a part of the Inside Edge Network and being our family. Get 20% off on first-time customers for Ellie Rose Fragrances, 10% off W Energy. Some great stuff with Fanatics. And you got Monster Moments. You got just all the great stuff. Sports memorabilia. You got all the great sponsors. I mean, everybody's buying in here in terms of trying to bring you guys something different. So we appreciate you so much. Weather's going to be a little bit nicer here in Cleveland the next few days. It was nice today, so just enjoy the weather. Get out, walk, do something fun. And just remember to love yourself. Love the people around you and enjoy this life. Enjoy the little things. Whether that's, you put the right cup of coffee together in the morning. Sometimes that's what puts a smile on my face. I put the right amount of cream and sugar in the coffee. It's hidden. we're off to a good start, or just finding the little things in life that make you happy. Papa Moon just got back from his cruise on Saturday, and that made me happy to be able to see my pops and give him a hug and say, what's up, So just find the little things in life that make you happy, and the world's going to be a better place with you in it. We appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, we are going to take a pause till tomorrow. We'll be back 10 to 11 p.m. Wednesday primetime edition. It'll be our last show of the week because we have draft coverage again Thursday. I want to go over this again with you.
This is exciting. This is going to be this is a big deal, Eli.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And we have the coverage here. Commissioner's Couch NFL Draft Special. That starts at 7:45 p.m. So make sure you're ready. 7:45 p.m. Ryan Moss and David Calhoun are going to go over the entire first round, walk with you, and maybe run with you too, depending on how the picks go. But they're going to go.
Running. I will not run. It's not a good idea. Yeah.
They're going to go through the first round with you all the way up until the end of the first round. Chad Bryan, of course, my bro, is going to be executive producing that show, so he'll be running with you as well throughout the coverage of the NFL draft. And then, of course, we have a special edition of Midnight Run and the Cavs post-game and just draft reaction as well, which will be immediately following draft coverage. That'll be with AA Anthony Alford and, I believe, a special guest, Chad Bryan. So we'll keep an eye on all of that.
I know that. I told you I lost the schedule.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on all of that. But so much more to go on this week, so just stay locked in here. Give us a follow, Inside Edge Net, on all the socials. Like and subscribe. That's on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We appreciate you. Thanks for choosing us as Cleveland's digital leader and your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, and so much more. And with that being said, we're going to put a bow on this edition of Primetime. That is Chad Bryan to my right, your left. I'm Eli Moon, feeling a little bit of allergies here late in the evening. Midnight Run coming up at midnight here on the Inside Edge Network with Anthony Alford. He's getting up right now. I believe he may be having a pregame nap. We'll see. I'll ask him what he had for dinner. Again, thank you so much. For Chad Bryan, I'm Eli Moon. We'll see you tomorrow. Midnight Run after this.